Hi, everybody. I know that you don't have to on any of this, but I wanted to get this video out there to you in case you might be working on your final draft of project number 3, and then when you come back after break, after Wednesday, we're officially back from break on Thursday. Thursday's our first day. Then this video will be there for you to watch and think about how you can be working on your thesis. So on the screen here, I have a sample thesis that came from somebody's rough draft. It says, through this play, and that's the piano lesson, presume, through this play, a piano symbolizes more than a regular instrument, causes issues among boy Willie and his sister Bernice. Okay, and that is perfectly true. There's nothing in there that is wrong. The problem is that it's so broad that it doesn't tell us much, right? It symbolizes more than a regular instrument. Well, but that doesn't tell us what it actually symbolizes. And so I'm not sure what the rest of this essay is going to be about. Similarly, it says that it causes issues. Well, it's true that it causes issues, but that's very general. I need to know something more specific at the beginning. A lot of times I think that students don't want to put this kind of information at the beginning of their essay. They feel that that's going to give everything away. And in fact, in this particular essay that I have, in the end, the last couple of sentences say this: this land means a lot to him because it symbolizes growth, and he is willing to sell his family's piano for it. Wait, that's really interesting, that the piano symbolizes growth. That's a lot more specific here. Now, we could define that even a little bit more, but still, the idea that the land symbolizes growth is much more specific than saying up here. First of all, we didn't even mention the land, but we just said that it's more than, the land is more than the land, or the land causes issues. No, the land symbolizes growth, and he's willing to sell his family's piano for it. Bernice is boy Willie's sister, who is attached to the family's piano their dad died for, which represents freedom as well as slavery, and showing growth from where they came from. Again, that's a lot more specific, right? And so if I had that kind of information here, if I was able to see that the piano represents freedom as well as slavery, showing growth from where they came from, that is, they're not slaves anymore, and the piano represents all of that, and if we're to see how the land is going to symbolize growth, if I had that at the beginning of the essay, then I'd understand very specifically what you want to be talking about. But instead, what this person had is something was much more general, right? They didn't even mention the land, and they just talked about the piano as more than a regular instrument, and then it causes issues. And so I don't know what to do with that. If you look back, this is the original essay that the student had, and they said, through this play, a piano which symbolizes more than a regular instrument causes issues among boy Willie and his sister Bernice. So that's what we get as a thesis. Again, I'm not sure exactly where we're going with that, but look at what we get in this first body paragraph. It says, this land symbolizes growth and freedom. Well, I wasn't ready for that. Right? That wasn't set up in my thesis, and if that had been set up in the thesis, then I would have had a better idea about where this entire essay is going. So that's why a lot of you might be getting comments where I'm saying you didn't set this idea up in your thesis, right? You can't just bring this up here. You need to express it at the beginning. Not only that, you'll notice that this idea about the land symbolizing growth and freedom comes halfway through the body paragraph, right? We get all this general information about he wants to sell the watermelons, Sutter has recently passed away, all that's true, and it takes till we get halfway through the body paragraph before we mention that the land symbolizes growth and freedom. That should have been at the very beginning of the paragraph, right? We should have seen that all the way at the beginning, because that's going to be part of the topic sentence, right? That should have been right there. The land symbolizes growth and freedom, and then we could have proved that. you'll also notice that you can just scan through here and see that there's no quotation marks. So this person is not quoting anything that proves that the land symbolizes growth and freedom. So they needed a more specific thesis, and they needed to have a specific topic sentence at the very beginning of the paragraph. Then we go to their next paragraph where they're talking about Bernice. They're telling Bernice is Boy Willie's sister. She has a strong attachment to the piano. All those things are true. But scroll down almost to the end, and it says the piano symbolizes her family pain and carries stories as well as carvings, which is why she's not willing to let it go. So that it symbolizes her family pain is important, right? That gets on some level to back to the thesis. And again, if this had gone at the beginning, if we had said right there at the beginning that this piano symbolizes the family pain, then I would have understood that that's what this paragraph is about. I would have understood that this paragraph directly relates back to the thesis, right? And then that would have made more sense. So in general, be more specific about your thesis early on, and be very clear about what your paragraphs are going to be about by putting your topic sentences at the beginning, so that we understand what they're supposed to be doing, and then use quotes to back that up. So on some level, it's fairly simple. Just make sure that you, again, that you are giving me the more specific information earlier on. If you have questions about specifically what I might have said in your rough drafts relating to this, please, please, please let me know. I've got time to be able to meet with you through Zoom or through a phone conference, and we can go over that. I understand that it's hard to necessarily get all of this just from the video, and so I'm completely available to talk to you. I've got enough time to be able to talk to everybody, so don't worry about taking up my time. I'm stuck inside, and this is pretty much all I need to do. So email me, and we can set up the right times to be able to talk. And so have a good break, and I'll talk to you next week.